right, let's just start with the big picture. Hey, what's your name? Tell me about your business and how has PEMF affected your life?
Yeah, my name is Dr. Buzz Korth, and I'm a chiropractor. I own Buckeye Physical Medicine and Rehab. We're a medically integrated practice. We have 7 offices, and we do a little bit of everything. We do chiropractic, we do physical therapy, we do a lot of regenerative therapies like ozone, PRP, alpha-2 microglobulin. But PEMF is one of the central tools we have in our toolbox to actually help people get better.
Cool. Tell me about that. How does PEMF actually work? What does it do?
What people have to realize is people that have areas that aren't getting better or aren't healing, when tissue becomes damaged, the cells in particular become, they have a negative charge to them. And when they have this negative charge, they can't absorb nutrients and they just don't heal well. And that's why you have people with chronic pain and chronic injuries. PEMF gives us the ability to get that negative cell and get it to take on a positive charge. Thus, it's much more receptive to all the different treatments we do. It's able to absorb the nutrients and actually get better. And usually the people we see in our practice that have failed medically and have been told they either need to have surgery or they're going to live with pain or be on long-term, pain management, opioid type treatments, and they're just not okay with that. And the use of this tool, PEMF, has been invaluable for us. Kind of the funny story, my whole practice, I'm kind of selfish in nature, and everything I do in my practice, I do because I wanted to do it myself. So we do a bunch of bioidentical hormones and peptides and, all stuff that I believe in, allografts and different things. But the one tool, and we have class 4 laser, all this stuff, but the one thing I never bought was a PEMF unit. I always planned on it, but it's just like kind of the thing I didn't buy, and I don't know why. 2 years ago, we were skiing in Montana, and my son had a skiing accident, and he had bilateral compound fractures of both of his fibs, his legs, and really bad injury. Recovery is very tough, and the one tool that I knew would help a lot with that I didn't have with that PEMF unit. So literally, I was in Utah in the hospital. He was in the hospital for 14 days, and I purchased my first unit when I was in the hospital. So when I got home, it would be there. And we used that on my son. We got home. We had to drive back from Montana to Ohio because he couldn't fly. So that was a heck of a drive. But anyways, as soon as we got back home, I put him in the medical bed that was in the middle of our living room, and the PEMF was here, and I put it on him, and he wore that thing pretty much all day long for the first 2 weeks. And the crazy thing is, 1 month after this accident, he was racing go-karts again. So a crazy recovery and winning races. I was sold at that point, so I bought another unit and use in my office. At this point, I have three units in my main office, and all my patients with disc injuries, any type of injuries that are chronic in nature, that's part of the protocol. It's just so effective.
Beautiful. And when people come in, how do you know if it's right for them? What do you think the criteria is for deciding what's best for them?
Do they have an area that's struggling to heal? Because anything that's struggling to heal will benefit from PEMF. So, whether it's, a spinal disc injury, an osteoarthritis injury, any area that's struggling to heal will do really well. We do a lot of, I'm double board certified in spinal decompression. So we treat a lot of disc patients, they're either referred from orthopedists or just come in, kind of word of mouth. And what we've been doing, which is pretty awesome, is when the patient's getting their decompression therapy, we also have the PEMF mat underneath of them. So they're getting PEMF therapy as they're doing, the lumbar decompression therapy, which is amazing. So, while we're decompressing that disc, we're also changing the polarity of the cells so they can absorb nutrients, which is really what you're trying to do with the desiccated or degenerative disc.
That's amazing. So how has this affected your business using the PEMF technology?
Anytime you can actually get people better, you get more referrals. So, so that definitely is a plus. And plus, it makes it more fun to practice, I think it helps with staff morale too. Obviously, if you're doing something that doesn't work, you're not going to have motivated staff. So We have a great staff. We help lots of people, and the people we are helping are people, like I said, the majority of them have failed medically. So, a
Wow.
lot of failed back surgeries and different things. So, we get the worst of the worst. That's just kind of the nature of the business. So, to help those people out really makes it all worth it. And, everyone's different. There's no cookie cutter, right? Um, everyone notices something, right? And PMF therapy is comfortable for people. If people are listening and haven't tried it, it's not a painful therapy. It's also an unattended therapy, so it's not like, we have a class 4 laser, we have shockwave therapy, a lot of other really cool tools. Those are all attended, which are staff intensive. PMF therapy, you can basically put the patient up and let them get their we do 25-minute sessions. So while they're decompressing, they're getting that session on there, and it's relaxing to them. It's comfortable, but you can feel it. So it's not like, like there's some, these units here are very strong. Like there's a lot of units out there. I don't want to mention names that you don't even really feel. Like you're going to know you're on these units. They're very strong. They're very reliable, but you're going to get out there and know something. And another thing that people often, a benefit that people talk about is it really helps sleep patterns. I'm not sure the exact mechanism. You probably have to ask Andrew that, but people say, "Man, I just slept so good when I got off that thing that night. Like it calmed me." Like so, very good for that. And of all the tools I have, like I said, remember I'm selfish. That's the one tool I bring home on the weekend that I use personally, just for a general just health benefit.
Oh, good for you.
Which is kind of a cool thing.
So tell me about side effects of this technology. Are there any?
There are no side effects. Obviously, you can adjust it. Different people can tolerate different amounts. The good thing, these units are strong enough that you can use them on people that have a higher tolerance. But you can definitely go lower too for people to need. And another really cool tool about these is a lot of times you'll have someone come in with like a shoulder pain or hip pain, or they're not, they'll think it's a hip pain, but it's really a back issue. And PMF therapy can be diagnostic in nature. A lot of times you'll put someone on there and they'll have shoulder pain, and when you put the PMF on their shoulder, you'll know the exact spot of the injury, because where you have the negative charge, they'll have the most discomfort. So they'll have to point to the exact spot. Hey, my shoulder's aching in the front, but now I got this PMF and I really feel it right here. So we can use it as a diagnostic, or someone will come in and they'll have some hip discomfort. So you'll put the pad on their back and hip, and all of a sudden, like, man, I feel my hip, but I really feel my back. And you'll know that that's a radiating from the back type of thing. So it's wherever the tissue is damaged is where you're going to feel it.
And so with your experience, do you see that people feel that relief that sticks around, or do they need to continue the treatment to maintain that relief?
Well, you're getting the body to heal itself. So, obviously if someone, I use mine all the time, but I don't treat it on any specific injuries at this point. So the goal with the patients in the clinic is to treat them until they're healed. And once they're healed, then they're good to go. So, it's not it's not addictive. You don't have to do it.
Right.
But you definitely want to do it until the tissue's healed up properly. Because at the end of the day, you want to fix the body or help the body, assist the body in healing itself.
And feeling good is kind of addictive to me in a healthy way.
I said I'm selfish. I bring mine home every weekend.
Yeah.
And the other funny thing, if you come to my office, the funny thing is, and I'm not just saying this, at lunchtime, we have weird hours. We're open 9 to 1, 3 to 7. But from 1 to 3, our lunch break, my staff is always sitting on those things.
Yeah.
Wellness, or if they have something going on, you'll see them. I just hear them click, 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 click. Those things are getting used all the time.
Yeah. All right. So summarize for me just a little bit. Why do you think the PEMF 8000 Pro is different from a lot of the other systems out there in the market?
That's a great question. I did a bunch of research before. I probably too much. I overanalyzed before I bought this unit. These units are made in the U.S., which I liked. There's other units out there. A friend of mine who got into this before me bought some units that were, I think he paid over $40,000 a unit. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about how many Gauss. That's the energy that you're getting into your body that helps the body heal. So if you're buying a PMF unit and the manufacturer won't tell you the Gauss, that'd like me buying a sports car, but they won't tell you how many horsepower it is.
Right.
Right. And these real expensive units, they wouldn't tell me the Gauss. It says proprietary, which makes no sense. Like, I'm paying $40,000. I want to know what's under the hood. And I felt it, and it doesn't feel any better. So, it's all about the Gauss. Kind of like if anyone is listening here that has a laser, like a hot laser or class 4 laser, a 60-watt laser is more powerful than a 30-watt. So
Sure.
it doesn't mean a 30-watt wouldn't work, but you'd have to use it for more time. So it's Gauss over time.
Yeah.
And these units are very powerful, and it allows you to decrease your treatment time. So that's what I liked, and the price was very affordable. If anything, I think they might be too cheap. I think a lot of people are like, well, the $40,000 one has to be better than the $18,000 one. So the $40,000 has to be better when it's not. It's Gauss over time. When you're buying a unit, how many Gauss is it? What's your customer support? I can tell you, Andrew, who I think is one of the, I don't even know what Andrew is. Yeah, I think he's one of the owners. I have a cell phone. I call him. He answers every time.
Yeah.
So customer support is second to none. The units are really good. And as I said, mine run Monday through Friday, and I bring one home on the weekend. They run from 9 in the morning till 7 at night. I've never had any issues.
Beautiful. All right, give me the name of your practice and tell me where people can find you online.
Yeah, it's Buckeye Physical Medicine and Rehab. We're located, our offices are in Columbus, Ohio. Probably the best way to get a hold of me is just drbuzzk@gmail.com. So drbuzzk@gmail.com. If you're hearing this and had any other questions or want my input on how I use this in my regenerative practice, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you out and help you help your patients.
And if it's a tough case, that's what you're good at.
The worst of the worst.
Well, thank goodness somebody can handle that stuff. That's great. Hey, doctor, I really appreciate your help and look forward to hearing more from you in the future on PEMF technology.
Hey, thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you.